All right, so in this video, we're going to talk about finding a common denominator to add and subtract fractions. Okay, so first let's talk briefly about when we have like denominators. So when we have like denominators, that means that the denominators are the exact same already. We don't have to do anything to them. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the numerators. So 3 plus 4 is 7. The denominator stays the same. So we're just going to bring it over. And then, if necessary, we'll go ahead and simplify. But in this case, 7 over 8 is going to be it. Okay, so let's look at this example here. So we have 11 over 12 plus 7 over 12. Our denominators are already the same. So I'm going to add the numerators. 11 plus 7 is 18. And I'm going to bring the 12 over. Now I can simplify this by 6. So I'm going to divide the top by 6 and divide the bottom by 6. And 18 divided by 6 is going to be 3. And 12 divided by 6 is 2. Now you can leave your answer as 3 over 2, or you can make it a mixed number. So 2 goes into 3 one time with 1 left over, and I keep the denominator the same. So either one of these answers would be acceptable. All right, second example. So we have a denominator of 11 and 11. So I'm going to add the top. 1 plus 4 is 5, and bring the denominator over. This cannot be simplified. So that is it. All right, example 3. I have a denominator of 26. So I'm going to add the numerators. So 15 plus 11 is 26. I'm going to bring the denominator over 26, and 26 over 26 is going to be 1 whole. And so our answer is 1. All right, next example, we have a denominator of 6. So we can add straight across. 5 plus 5 is going to be 10 over 6. I can simplify this by dividing the top and the bottom by 2. 10 divided by 2 is 5, and 6 divided by 2 is 4. And I can leave my answer as 5 over 4 as an improper fraction, or I can make it a mixed number. 4 goes into 5 one time with 1 left over, and I keep the 4 as the denominator. All right, what do you do when you have unlike denominators? So in order to add or subtract, we need to have like denominators. But when they're unlike, we need to go ahead and find the LCM of the two numbers. We're going to rewrite an equivalent fraction, which means an equal fraction, with the new denominator. Then I'm going to add the numerators or subtract them if necessary, keep the denominator the same, and simplify. So we're just adding some steps into the beginning. So here I have a denominator of 4 and 3. Well, the LCM of 4 and 3 is 12. So I rewrote a new fraction here with 12 on the bottom, okay? 4 goes into 12 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 1 times 4 is 4. Then I have now like denominators. 9 plus 4 is 13. Keep the bottom the same as 12 and simplify, and that's already simplified there. So let's do one example here together. So the LCM of 6 and 19 is going to be, 6 and 9 is going to be 18. Now I need to make an equivalent fraction. Well, 6 goes into 18 3 times. 3 times 1 is 3. 9 goes into 18 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. bring down the addition sign. Now my denominators are the same, and I add the top. 3 plus 4 is 7. And I cannot simplify that anymore, so that is my final answer. Okay, next example. I have 8 and 3 as a denominator, so I need to find a common denominator. Well, the LCM is going to be 24. So I'm going to rewrite a new fraction. Okay, 8 goes into 24 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 goes into 24 8 times. 2 times 8 is 16. Bring down the addition sign. Now I have a common denominator. So I'm going to bring it straight across. And when I do 21 plus 16, I'm going to get 37. Now that's as simplified as it can get. So I can write that down as a final answer. If I want to make a mixed number, 24 goes into 37 one time. There is 13 left over, and I keep the denominator the same. So 1 and 13 over 24. All right, now we have a subtraction one here. So the LCM of 6 and 8. All right, so that is also going to be 24. So I'm going to make a new fraction. Okay, 6 goes into 24 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. 8 goes into 24 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9, and we're going to subtract this time. Our denominators are the same, so we're going to go ahead and bring them over. 20 minus 9 is 11, and I cannot simplify that anymore, so that is my final answer. All right, next example. We have 5 and 15, so the LCM of that is going to be 15. We're going to make a new fraction with 15 as our denominator. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. 15 goes into 15 one time. 1 times 3 is 3, and it's subtraction. Our bottoms are already the same, so we're going to bring over the 15 as the denominator. 12 minus 3 is 9. Now I can simplify this because I can divide the top by 3 and the bottom by 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. And that's as simplified as I can get. All right, you try these and then we will go over the answers. All right, go ahead and hit the pause button if you're not done so that you can finish before I go over them. And so this top one up here, we had the same denominator of 8. So all I had to do was add the top. 2 plus 5 is 7, and I have 7 over 8, and I cannot simplify it. Right over here, I also had the same denominator of 5. So I just subtract this time. 4 minus 1 is 3. Bring the 5 over, and I cannot simplify it anymore. Now down here I had to find a common denominator because I had a 7 and a 2. So the LCM that I found was 14. Now 7 goes into 14 two times. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 goes into 14 7 times. 1 times 7 is 7. 12 minus 7 is 5, and I brought 14 over as the denominator, and I cannot simplify that anymore. Over here, I also had to find a common denominator. So the LCM of 5 and 3 is 15. 5 goes into 15 three times, so 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 goes into 15 5 times, so 2 times 5 is 10. I added the top and I got 22, and I kept the bottom as 15. Now this can be an improper fraction as an answer. It's already as simplified as it can go, or I can make it a mixed number. 15 goes into 22 one time with 7 left over, and I keep the denominator as 15. All right, that is the end of this video. Make sure that you practice, practice, practice.